In this video, we're going to talk about how you can actually start a business in less than 90 days without losing your shirt. Stay tuned. So many people out there want to start a business. However, because of stability issues, lack of finances, or maybe they don't even have a plan, forgo then and tend to stay at their corporate jobs a little bit longer than they intended. But looking back, there's actually a way to do it where you can actually still have your 9-to-5 and have a side business at the same time. You know, don't take it from me. I pulled out my 401k and built a business. I'm not saying you need to do that. In fact, I wish I knew back then what I knew now. So that's kind of what I want to share with you. Now, before I get into kind of like how to actually get it done, first and foremost, I got to mention the stuff that isn't sexy and nobody really wants to talk about. But it's the importance of making sure that you're legit, meaning go talk to a lawyer, go talk to a tax person, make sure you get all your documents and everything ready to go, because it's going to make your life a whole lot easier down the road. And also, something I'm going to share with you in the middle later on in this video is going to need an EIN number. Okay, an EIN number is kind of like a social security number for a business. All right, so just keep that in mind. Definitely go out, talk to a lawyer. They're not as expensive as you think. In fact, they save you tons of money down the road. Most people tend to find a lawyer when it's already too late. Be proactive about it. Make your business legit. Follow through the proper channels. Now that that's out of the way, how do we actually get a business going in 90 days? Well, first things first, find a market that you're actually interested in, that you have some kind of passion behind it. Maybe you like health and wellness, maybe you like hiking, maybe you like travel, whatever that may be. Try to find a market that you have some interest in. Ideally, it's a market that people have cared for the past 20 years and people are going to still care about in 20 years from now, right? So something kind of like Bitcoin, maybe not be the best. However, you never know, right? It's kind of like a case-by-case scenario. But you typically want to have some kind of interest in some field that has history but also has a future, so that way you can kind of continue on with the business, right? The other thing you want to look at too is, are there customers in that market? Do they buy anything? And a good way to ask yourself is like, are they passionate, right? So for example, sports, people are passionate about soccer, football, baseball, all that kind of stuff, right? So there's a higher buying percentage than in other markets like golf, right? Golf also has a high buyer percentage. So ask yourself, has this market been here 20 years ago? Will it continue to be here in the future? And is there some kind of buying behavior towards it? Okay. Now, once you kind of get that settled down, the next thing you want to do is launch what's called a virtual summit. In fact, one of my business partner, Jose, this is kind of what he did while he still worked as a rocket engineer. He launched a virtual summit. In fact, he launched the World Prepper Summit as he still had his corporate job. So that's living proof right there that you can do this. And now a virtual summit, think of it kind of like a in-person conference, except it's all online, right? So what ends up happening is right off the beginning, you have to go out and reach these top experts. So how do you go about doing that? Well, once you find out and identify your market, you need to figure out what are the pain points of that market, right? What are the challenges? You want to create a list and then figure out, okay, well, who is an expert that can possibly talk on this subject? Okay, if you want a little hack, one thing you can do is go to Amazon, type in the name of the market that you're into, and see what kind of books come up. Look at the table of contents, and in the table of contents, you'll start to see recurring themes show up and up. These recurring themes are pretty much good indicators that these are main issues that the market is having. Therefore, you might want to have a speaker come and talk about that. Another little hack on top of that is, more often than not, the person who wrote that book will probably like to be a speaker at your summit. Okay, now a virtual summit can typically be a 3, a 5, even a 10-day. I recommend keeping it shorter, 3 days. And it's a 3-day virtual summit, and the way it works is that it's completely free, right? So you interview anywhere between 15 to 20. I've seen upwards of 100 speakers, but keep it simple if it's your first one. Maybe keep it to 20. So you make all these interviews free, and you separate them by day. So maybe you have 5 interviews one day, 5 interviews the next day, 5 interviews the last day, right? and you prohibit access. So day 1, you only get access to these 5 speakers, day 2, then these 5, day 3, then these 5. And by doing so, you position what's called an all access pass or a digital pass. Meaning, if you don't want to wait or if you don't want to sit down and listen to all the content, you can purchase this digital access pass that gives you access to all the speakers right here, right now. So what this does is that you're able to create a product without really having to, sit down and create a whole course, for example, or create some kind of physical product. It's all based on access. Okay, now the really cool thing about this too is that you're providing ton of value to the marketplace because you're bringing in top experts talking about problems and challenges that are happening within the current market. So it's kind of like a 2-for-1 punch. And talk about growing your email list, talking about establishing yourself as an authority, talking about making great connections with the people that you need to be making connections with. I mean, it's just kind of like a no-brainer. It's literally the fast track method of starting a business. If I were to start a business right now, I would start off with the summit because just the benefits completely outweigh. And in a separate video, I'll do a whole breakdown on virtual summits. But nonetheless, that's what you do want to do, a virtual summit. And you want to have at least 3 months to be able to get it all down, meaning finding all the content you want to create, finding the speakers, messaging the speakers, setting up the interview times, all that kind of stuff. You want to have a virtual summit. Okay, now the recordings are one way to monetize that. Okay, now to take your profits even further, what you want to do is sign up as an affiliate to different companies. And this is why you need the EIN number that we spoke about in the beginning of the video. You see, let's say you are in the health and wellness market. Well, there's plenty of companies that are selling mats, workout gear, supplements, different types of water, masks, whatever. And they're all looking for people who have an audience that they can sell their products to. And what they're willing to do is work with these individuals and give them commission. Right? So if you have a health and wellness summit, you can partner with, XYZ company and say, hey, listen, for any sale you generate of my product, I'll give you 10%. Right? So now what happens is that because you have a virtual summit, which means you have all these top experts, you can then go back to your experts and turn them into your affiliates. Right? So it's like, hey, so-and-so, I'm putting on this summit. Can I interview you? Yes? Great. Awesome. Now, in order to maximize your reward and also my reward, would you like to sign up and be my affiliate? So anyone that you refer to my summit, you get a commission off of from the recordings if they purchase, right? So that's one stream of revenue. But then on the back end, since you have all these contacts in an email list, you can then email them different affiliate products. So now company over here, XYZ, if they're selling some really cool yoga mat, you talk about a yoga mat in your email, then you link it to their product, and if they purchase, you get commissions off of that, right? So that's it. That's the game plan. That's how you get it going up in less than 90 days without losing your shirt, without having to quit your job. So that way, you still have the stability, you still have the financial means of getting everything done, but now you have a plan, and that plan involves first meeting with the lawyer, tax person, getting all that ready to go and situated. Then, finding a market you're passionate about that has a history but also has some future longevity and has passionate people that are willing to buy. Then once you do that, have a virtual summit, launch it, build that list, make some really cool sales, establish yourself as an authority within the market in less than 90 days, and then finally partner up with all these other different companies to become an affiliate of them and sell their products. Boom, 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 boom. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, then you're gonna love what I have for you. It's called my ultimate automatic sales system for online businesses, and it's gonna show you the 4 processes you need to have in place to make sure your business runs on autopilot. All right, if you're interested in that, make sure you click the link in the description below, enter your email, and I'll send it to you right into your inbox. On top of that, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with a friend. See you all on the next one.